Hi everyone! Today I want to share this little card that we made at Card Buffet last week. It's very simple to put together, which I tend to do at a card buffet because people want to make a lot of cards at a card buffet. And so this one is really simple to put together, and I thought I would share it with you in case you wanted to make a really fun and simple Christmas card. And I originally made it as a wedding card, so the layout can be used for multiple occasions. This one uses the Seasonal Bells stamp set, which has a coordinating paper punch, which is wonderful. So you can use the same layout for both. And I want to show you this acetate that's really beautiful. Collection of acetate sheets. They're called Fabulous Foil Designer Acetate, and you get 6 sheets. And there's a variety of patterns. So you've got the one that I used here, which is this kind of mosaic looking tiles maybe. Then you've got this one that is scallops. You can use it for waves. And then there's also dots, which I only have a little scrap left. I love those little dots. And on the one side you've got gold, and if you flip it over you've got a silver looking piece, which is really pretty. So you can use it for the gold side or the silver side. So those are fun. Those are 6 sheets for $12, 12 by 12 sheets. And we're using the gold today. So we start on a very vanilla card base, and I'm going to adhere all my little squares and things right now to get them out of my way. Now I want to give you a few tips for adhering this acetate. I know that I'm not stamping on these squares, so I'm going to go ahead and put them together. And then when I want to adhere my acetate, I'm going to only put the adhesive behind that square. So no one will see all that adhesive, and yet this adhesive is really strong and it'll stick even though it's only behind that square. And it's going to stay put, it's not flimsy. So it's going to be right there and not go anywhere. Another part to this card are these beautiful snowflakes. You get 24 in a pack, 12 gold and 12 silver. And these are in the holiday catalog. Very pretty. Okay, so my base is done. That went together fast. And now we just have to do a little bit of stamping on the inside and for the wreath, and then some die cutting. So here's our stamp set. Really wonderful Christmas stamp set. I love it. And here are the dies, which are even more fabulous. I love the tree and this deer, which we're going to use, and this wreath. But I want to point out this sleigh. You can use the sleigh, just the outline with the stamp, and it'll cut that out. Really fun. Or use this really detailed, beautiful, ornate sleigh. You can do that in a gold foil, and imagine how pretty that would be. And then you've got a stocking and teddy bear, all kinds of fun images. And I really like this stamp set. I think you should definitely go look at that closer at my blog, bestpapercuts.com, and you can see these things up close. So what we need is an embossed wreath, and then I cut the deer out of shimmery white, so it's not quite white. I wanted it to have a different tone to the card than just the vanilla, but the white I thought was too white, and this shimmer has a slight vanilla to it and also a really pretty shine. So we're going to cut that out, and then we're going to make the wreath. So the wreath is first stamped in Versamark, which is like a sticky ink. And then we're going to apply the gold embossing powder. Okay, now we just need to heat this up with our heat tool. You know, I had an old Stampin' Up heat gun for the longest time, and I got a new one finally, and the new one has different settings, which is really awesome. It's got a 1 and a 2, and it's quieter than the old one too. So if you don't already have a heat tool, this is a really nice thing to have. Embossing is like magic. It just turns just that shine. Watch it as it changes from powder to that shiny embossed look, and it's just so much fun, and it's like magic doing it. People always get an ooh at a stamp camp when they make an embossed image. put the excess back into the jar before I spill it all over my room. It's amazing how long this embossing powder lasts. That's gone. So now we're going to go ahead and cut these out. So the wreath is in two parts, and you can kind of line up the bumps, but as you know, the magnetic plate has magnets kind of scattered throughout, and sometimes they just don't end up in the perfect place. So you can kind of move this around, and these little magnets sometimes just on a small die like this, see how it just wants to jump? So sometimes you can just move the paper slightly to kind of get rid of that problem. Oops, which I seem to have done. I got rid of that problem, but what I was going to suggest, if you can't find a way to get rid of that, washi tape is wonderful at layering things down. Okay, so now this one's going to go in the middle, like so. And then I'm just going to run this through the Big Shot, cut these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is our deer, and I just slipped the wreath over his head. You have to kind of manipulate it a little bit. There we go. Just like so. And then I attached this deer with some little mini dimensionals. I love that Stampin' Up! Came out with the mini dimensionals, don't you? So I'm going to put one right behind his head. Maybe one more. I'm going to put this one kind of holding the wreath down as well. Right there in the center. Such a pretty and elegant Christmas card. Now what I meant to do was stamp the inside first, just before I folded and added things, but I think I'll be okay, hopefully. So what I used was the greeting from the stamp set, and I stamped it in soft suede. Soft suede has a gold tone to it. It really goes nicely with cards with gold accents. So that's what I decided to use. You could also emboss this in the gold embossing powder if you want to keep embossing, because it is fun. Okay, I did good. So that's my inside. And now I just needed to add a little bow. Let me close this up before I get my sleeve in that. So now I just need to add my little bow. There's a few really nice options for the bows. There's a really pretty 1/8 gold ribbon. It's kind of like a taffeta almost. And then there's this one, which is vanilla with gold trim. So this is a really pretty ribbon. It's got a border of gold on either side of a very vanilla satin. Really nice. I'm going to go ahead and use that. Isn't that pretty? See how big I want it. Maybe a little smaller. Maybe a tiny bit smaller. And I just attached that with a glue dot. There. Isn't that pretty? So on the inside you've got Merry Christmas wishes. I like that there's a sentiment for the inside of the card. And then on the outside, just this beautiful, elegant deer. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked my project. Please stop by bestpapercuts.com where you can see the wedding version as well, and you can get information on all the various products used in this video and how to get them. You can shop for Stampin' Up! 24/7 at bestspapercuts.com, and you can also find me on Facebook at Beth's Paper Cuts. I hope that you'll join me there and we can talk all things crafty. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.